Hello and welcome to the Frontend Horse live stream. It is wonderful to be back. We were off last week. Thank you so much for coming back out, even though a week on the internet feels like forever. I don't know what, probably at a new React version. Do people still use Next.js? We're going to use it today. I hope we're still using that. We have a phenomenal show. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. James Q Quick is with us. James, it is great to see you. How you doing?
Hey, doing great. I am excited to be a part of this as well. I've always enjoyed checking in on your streams. You've been crushing it the last, how long have you been at Prismic? Has it even been a year?
February. It has not been a year
February's
yet.
a year.
So.
Wow. That's honestly kind of hard to believe. I feel like I've heard you on so many podcasts and I've seen you on so many streams.
Thanks,
You've been doing a really good job, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, and checking in on your stream as well. Oh, can we do a shout out? Hold on. I'm thrilled whenever I remember this feature because I've used it like 10 times total. So that's why I'm like, SO James Q Quick.
Yeah, I'm basically the exact same way. Yeah, I always forget about that.
Yeah, you've got a great stream over there. Popped in on you a whole bunch of times. I think one of the first times, and if I'm ruining the first time that we met or like really got to know each other was through a panel that we had you on at React Summit, I want to say. React.
I think that was the first time.
Parade, React-a-thon. I mix them up. I'm sorry. I think it was Summit,
though. I don't know. Yeah.
React Parade might be available. We should start that.
React Parade coming to you at a computer soon. That's a great tagline.
I mean, you're going to be our marketing whiz for sure. We have some fantastic people in chat. Mike, thank you so much for that 6 month sub. That was super kind. We got Life here, Victor, Suxo, just fantastic people already here. Amit, great to see you. So we're going to be getting into some pretty cool stuff. I don't know a lot about authentication. It's been one of those things that honestly, I've always...
Is that okay? I didn't ask, but I'm going to turn around and take my selfie.
I would have ducked out of the camera if that was not okay.
I never do enough pictures. All right, cool. So you said authentication is the thing you're most excited about in the world. Got it. Let's go.
Almost. It was close. No.
Almost.
So it's something that I have honestly always been a little afraid of. It can be daunting. It can be a thing where you're like, I mean, first off, the pressure feels high. It feels like, like credentials and tokens and there's just so much that like could go wrong. And what if I like accidentally release a user's private information? I don't know enough to know how much I can screw it up. And so that's always a little like nerve-wracking. What if I don't gate the thing appropriately and they just go whoop and just go right around my authentication and get in? So services like Auth0, is my understanding, allow you to they don't put me in charge of that. I don't have to worry about that. It doesn't have to be this brain that's stopping people from getting in. It's brains over there at Auth0 that are like, we've got this handled. Just use our SDK, use our service, and we're going to take care of that, Alex. You go worry about the other things that you actually want to worry about. Is that a fair summarization?
Yeah, I think that's spot on. And like, I didn't know anything about the stuff that I know now before joining Auth0 for what it's worth. Like part of my interview process was to record, I think, a 10-minute demo on using Auth0 and React. So that was just completely new to me, doing that for the first time. And I think like I'm much more of a developer that wants to build stuff than I am an identity expert. Like I'm not in these meetings like deciding what should be in a certain spec or something like that. So like I know a lot more than the average person just because of the job, but like my focus is still, how does it help me as a developer just build stuff quicker, easier, and have less to think about? And that's hopefully the goal for developers out there that use the product as well.
That's awesome. And people in the chat are recognizing you. It's Mr. Quick today. I did the grave mistake of just going, yeah, everyone knows James, but there's probably someone out there that doesn't know James. Can you give yourself a quick introduction? I skipped right over that because it's just like, you have Steve Jobs on the thing. Well, first off, that's gonna be a tough get. But you have someone big on the thing. You don't have to go like, can you explain yourself? But I'm sure someone out there doesn't know James. So can you give yourself a brief introduction? A quick
First of all,
introduction.
dark on the Steve Jobs.
I don't
Also,
know why my brain went there, and then I realized it's probably going to be hard to get him on. This is
yes,
what
it's a
happens.
difficult ask. Yeah, when you're live and you're under pressure.
Yeah.
Also the quick introduction. Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, I can do that. That's literally my name. So I've been like kind of adopting a new tagline, which I think really sums up like what I do now and what I've been doing professionally for almost 10 years. Is I teach developers through content, and that means a lot of different things. Primarily, I run a YouTube channel that has grown a lot in the last year. I've written a bunch of articles. I do live streams. I'm now on TikTok, as you know. That's been a heck of a lot of fun just to have a lot more like personality and humor in developer content. So I've been really enjoying that. And then for my day
Your
job, I'm
dances are
developer.
fantastic. You are
I
always
have not
with
danced
the
yet. Yeah,
renegade. Like you crush it with all of them.
just nail it. Yeah, I should try one of those. It'd be really interesting. We'll see. But um, for my day job, I'm developer media manager at Auth0, and that's very closely aligned with our developer relations team, which is where I was for about a year and a half. And what I do is work and help manage our developer focused content that is not our blog. So our technical YouTube videos, we are actually planning on getting on TikTok, Auth0, as an account, which I'm really excited about.
Cool.
And Twitter Spaces and just any other kind of media targeted at developers that's not our blog, because we have a full team that's dedicated to that.
Nice. Awesome. Well, great to have you. So let's get into Auth0. We got the steps up there. I want to kind of get an intro to Auth0. I'll bring up the website and put that up. Auth0.com, I want to say. Did you guys get the .com? You got the .com.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
We got the .com.
I'm
Yes.
sure that was a big happy day when you
Big
got
deal.
that.
Yeah.
Nice. So Auth0, I mean, I kind of explained it, but do you want to sum it up in probably a better, more concise way?
I think you hit on it. I mean, the idea of security, identity, authentication, it is a daunting one. A lot of developers still have their perspective like, I could just build this out myself. And that works like for a lot of different scenarios, and it also works to a certain extent. So when you look at like staying up to date with modern best practices and vulnerabilities, and then what are the latest features that people want to take advantage of. One that's cool is like using device biometrics. So like logging in with your fingerprint on your device is something like if you were developing all this stuff yourself, you'd have to go out and like learn something brand new and how to incorporate that into all the different platforms that your apps work on. So the benefit of Auth0 is like all of that hard nitty gritty stuff we take care of. I don't know how many engineers, but 100 or more engineers work on our identity stuff like on a daily basis. So you know you've got experts that are taking care of that stuff for you. It helps you integrate with, from an enterprise perspective, like other formats of authentication. You can also tie in social connections with GitHub and Google and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And then there's some other like niceties just around authentication as a whole. But at the end of the day, like our SDKs, I think from a developer perspective is really what makes it. And I hope that you will be as excited about the Next.js SDK as we get into it as I am, because I think it is like legitimately top notch. And
okay, so it's a specific Next.js SDK. It's not just like a React one. Interesting.
Correct. Yeah. So we had a new React SDK come out in the summer of 2020.
Okay.
Then we had kind of an informal Next.js SDK that got formalized and updated back in February of this year. And it is like, it's legit. Like I'm surely a little biased, but it's also just like flat out, regardless, like really amazing. So
awesome. So I always do this, and at some point I'm going to have like a better framing for this. Adrian, thank you so much. What Adrian just dropped in chat, I do want to touch on super quick. We have this feature called, and it's still like in progress, you'll see it's kind of janky, called I Wonder and I Learn. So I'm trying to set up this thing where people can drop their questions here, and we don't miss them. We don't, because so many people, like I'm always worried that if I don't grab the question that's in chat right this second, I'm going to forget it. I guarantee I will. And it might just not fit with the flow right now, so I kind of don't want to derail. So if you type in chat, I wonder, like Adrian just did, it will get logged here, and we can come back to it, and at the end of the show, we're going to check it out. If you learned something, you can type !TIL or I learned, and it'll show up on this page. Right now, there's nothing there. We haven't learned anything yet, James. You taught us nothing. No, but so definitely do this throughout the thing. If you're learning anything, if you're wondering anything, put it there. We can still read it in chat, and I might be able to. Oh, here, hold on. We got to learn about the cool new chat features. Nice. But we'll make sure that we hit on that question, because I always feel bad when I miss something, but we might be in the middle of like a problem, and I don't want to keep coming on and off. So definitely use that feature. Thank you so much again, Adrian. Cool.
Yeah. By the way, I might like totally. I've
Steal
had an idea for something similar. I'm totally gonna rip that off from you.
Steal
like
it.
100%.
I've stolen so many things from you and everyone else. That's we're all making it up here.
That's what we do.
Steal the steps, or if you want, whatever you want, it's yours.
And I can answer those questions really quickly.
Cool.
So we do support Discord, Auth, and then
Nice.
I don't know about GitLab, so I can answer that in the sense that I can't answer it, but we'll leave it there, I guess.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for hitting those. All right, cool. So do we want to look at anything else here, or should we kind of get into the Next.js SDK and docs?
I would go ahead and get started. Like, I mean, I think that's really the best practice. Yeah, if you don't have an account, you can sign up, and it is.
I don't have a new one. Should I go ahead and sign up with Google?
Yeah, do it. Or GitHub or Microsoft,
I'll sign up
whatever
with
works for you.
I'll do that off screen real quick. Let me just do.
Oh, I was looking forward to finding your personal email.
Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say. Let's do this off screen. For a second I thought you were serious, where it's like, oh, like this is the best part of Auth0. I'm like, oh well, I better show that.
There's actually this amazing animation thing that we don't want to miss, and you should also like click the little box that says show password, because there's some cool things that happen. You
gotta share that with the chat.
So,
you gotta share that with the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I need advanced settings?
I haven't been through the sign up process in a while.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't think so. But I'll have to look into
custom name region later. Okay, cool.
That's okay.
I'm at the US. I've got those settings. All right, next.
And then on this next screen, it definitely will show your passwords. So
it will. So
no, it won't.
Oh. I'm not usually this gullible, James. You're getting me pretty good. Yeah, I always There are some sites that are like a little like less. No, there's actually
less aware. Yeah.
Revue, REVUE, the Twitter newsletter platform. At the bottom of like your settings page, just like here's your API key, and there's no clear way to change it. There's no clear way to like, I've been exposed. Can I reset that? It's nowhere. So don't scroll to the bottom of your review page. Because I don't know how to get it.
I've been looking to potentially migrate to Review. Code Stacker uses it.
That's my least favorite feature, is the public secret API.
Public API key. We'll have to chat about that later on.
Yeah.
So I can give you a little bit of what you're looking at. So in the top left, you see like it's a made up name that they give you by default. It's dev dash something.
Cool.
So that is your tenant, and a tenant in Auth0 is basically a grouping of applications. So if you have like one product and there's a mobile app and there's a web app and there's some sort of other app, like all those would be grouped inside of a tenant, and they would share like users and social connection configurations and that sort of stuff. So they all would have that same stuff in the back end and kind of be grouped together underneath that tenant. So we can just stay here with this tenant, and we will create our first application.
Cool.
So in the applications tab, if you want to click that one, and then we've had some debate about the wording of applications being nested under applications, but click on the nested applications tab.
No worries.
And go ahead and create an application.
Cool. So it seems like it made one for me just as a default, but I can create a new one. So
yes.
So my thought here, and actually, you know what? I think once again I'm doing a bad job. I've been off this for a week, chat. I'm a little rusty. Back off, chat. No, I'm just kidding. so the idea here is SubStack. Hey, Andrea, how are you doing? Good to see you. The idea here is we want to make our own kind of SubStack, right? We've got Prismic, we've got Auth0. We're not going to get any like payment things, because Auth0 doesn't handle like a payment thing.
Nope.
I can plug it into like a Stripe or something, right? But
Yep.
it doesn't handle that
Absolutely.
out of the box. But
Correct.
basically, what we're going to do right now is just kind of put a wall up between some of my content and the good content. So it's going to be like rolling our own Substack. That's pretty much the concept. So I've got this site set up, and we'll show you in a minute, called Marketing Secrets. Because I figured that sounds like something that someone's going to make on Substack, right?
Like
And charge a whole bunch of
yeah.
money for you to get access to the blog posts that are pretty much identical to every other marketing blog post out there. But you're paying for these, and they're really good. So that's what we're doing. So should I go ahead and name this Marketing Secrets? Is that?
Yes, absolutely. And then while you're typing that, so there's different kinds of application types as you see here. So you've got your native apps that would be like your phone stuff, or even your desktop clients. You got single page apps. This would be like regular React Angular Vue Svelte.
Okay.
And then you've got regular web applications. And this, in this sense, regular is kind of referring to more of the like server side rendered apps. And so
Okay.
since we're using Next.js and it has server side capabilities,
Got
this
it.
is going to be considered a regular web application.
Got it. Okay, that's good to know. I might not have known where to go here. I might have gone for the React, but what you're saying
Yep.
makes sense with the server-side rendered versus front-end app that uses an API, all on the client.
Correct. Yep. And there's implications of like the actual flow that happens for authentication. Like we don't need to go in depth into OpenID Connect and OAuth2 and that sort of stuff, but there are differences in how that stuff works based on being a regular web application in this case versus just being on the front end, namely because you can't have any secret credentials in the front end at all. I think
Right.
we've all been there, but hopefully we've learned no API keys can go into your source code. No API keys can go to the browser, or they can be grabbed by someone and used in any way they want.
Yep. Never trust the client. If it's on the client,
Mm-hmm.
they can see it. So
That's right.
that's one of the
Yep.
nice things about Next.js and apps like or frameworks like it, in that has that server-side capability and can make those secure requests. Cool.
Yep.
So going to
Yeah.
create.
So you can go ahead. Yep. Go for it. And then, so I think you said you already have a Next.js project.
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Do we want to talk
so
over
let's
to that, or
stay here for just a second.
Cool.
So click on the Next.js button, just kind of showing people like the quick start options here. Basically,
Nice.
this is going to walk you through how to integrate this. And then there's also a sample project that you could download that I actually recorded a video on yesterday. Can I actually share something that isn't public yet? No.
No,
Okay.
no exclusives here.
No,
I
no
only want
exclusives.
old news and stuff that you've
And
done on
boring news.
other streams. Yeah, only that. Yeah, here for the
Um,
exclusives. Give me that exclusive.
Yeah. So Fireship, the YouTube channel, they are pretty famous for like the 100 seconds, like something in 100 seconds.
Yeah.
So we are sponsoring an Auth0 in 100 seconds, and he let me record on like an additional 7 minutes to the end of it, setting up Auth0 in Next.js. So
You're
basically,
ruining
exactly
his
what we're about
format.
to do.
You are ruining the 100
This was he offered, and I
That's
was
awesome.
like, will I allow myself to be put on camera on your huge YouTube channel? Yes, I will.
I like that idea. Yeah, that's awesome
Yes.
though. So that's
Yeah, I'm
coming
really
out
excited
soon.
about that. I believe he said next week.
Awesome.
I think that's the one. Yeah, so it should be out soon.
So should I just link to fireship.io and people can check that out?
Yeah,
Or
probably.
the lessons?
Or maybe the YouTube channel directly. I can't
I'm trying to
remember.
find it. Courses.
Is there a
See it
YouTube
anywhere?
button?
There we go.
There
at
it
the
is.
bottom.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Closing out a bit before his auto video plays, and there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Nice.
check that out.
Cool.
Subscribe there, and that should be out by next week. That's awesome, James. Thank you for the exclusive.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Also, Jacob commented that they've got clients using Auth0, and they set up a couple of Next.js sites as examples. Cool.
Awesome.
If you have any feedback on that, just let me know.
Yeah, it's great. Adrian's wondering which application type is best for a static site generator.
Static site generator. So it depends on where you go, right? Next.js can do static sites. So you could do that there. If you're looking at something, although this is confusing now because Gatsby just announced serverless functions, but the traditional static site with Gatsby, for example, is using their rehydration process. So it's more single page app. So you're just doing authentication on the front end because the stuff is already built and there, with the exception of now I don't know how that changes with new serverless functions in
Yeah,
Gatsby.
that's good. Yeah. So can you, if I have like an 11T site or something, can I do like a serverless function and authenticate through that? Like I feel like an 11T site is not a great use case for authenticated content in general, but
I think the easiest thing now to do in that case would to be to use our SPA, so our single page app SDK. So we
cool.
have a regular SPA one, we have a React one, and we have a Next one. And in the 11D case, and Svelte and others, using that SPA library would be the best way to go.
And Mike says, I think you can do it through Netlify. Got it. So yeah, because Netlify has their own auth thing, but it's not as robust, I would say. Like I
Yep.
think Netlify has a bunch of handy plugins or like smaller things. Like they've got like a CMS, they've got some auth, they got some forms, but I
Mhm.
don't think any of them is like full robust production kind of thing. Like
Yep.
not to crap on Netlify. I think they're fantastic, but it's just not designed to be that like, you have 10,000 people using it kind of thing.
Mhm.
But anyway,
And I think they would say the same thing. But if
right.
that's a great place to also start. So if people do that and it works for them, fantastic.
Awesome. B1 Mind, thank you so much for that sub. I really appreciate it. 3 months. Wow. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Cool. So do we want to grab anything from here?
So probably what we should do is open up, do a Google search for like GitHub Auth0 Next.js, and we'll pull open the documentation for this library, and we'll just kind of go through step by step there.
GitHub Auth0 Next.js. Is that what you said?
Yep, that's it.
Cool. Drop that in chat.
And if we scroll down on here, there's the install command. So if you want to, you can copy that install command, open up your project, and we'll install it.
Cool. Got it kind of halfway running. So here, I'll walk through this super quick. Probably not super quick, but I'm going to walk through it real quick. Let's see what we got. So
you go at whatever speed makes sense for you.
Thank you, James. No one ever gives me that kind of space and time, so I appreciate you
Absolutely
affording me that. I have a little site that I've put together based off of a template that we have with Prismic and Slice Machine. Slice Machine is kind of our development workflow to allow you to create pages quickly, where you can have, and I'm about to do it on this monitor, but that's not going to help you. Each part is a section. So like this banner section is a slice, and this image gallery is a slice, and you can create these different slices and move them around. It's just a nice development workflow. But basically, I'm just running off of a template theme. So I think maybe Phil at Prismic, thank you so much for making this template so I didn't have to. I appreciate y'all. And so, yeah, I just got a simple page. We can add some more like marketing copy of like, you need this. I was going to add some quotes and stuff. Didn't get to it. But we've also got a sign up and a login page that is really advanced and is, wait, did that? Oh, I didn't add those in. I added it here. There we go. So that's what I've got so far. I'm hoping you can help me out with this, James, to make this a little bit better.
That's exactly it. That's what I was going to go for.
well, then I think we're done here.
Done. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, so that's just basically that. We've got Storybook with our slices. It comes with Slice Machine, just allows you to kind of see what you're working with. We've got Slice Machine itself. We can build out our custom types, and we'll build out a blog page or sorry, an article type a bit later. Right now, I've just mainly got the home page. But yeah, then I got Unsplash. There we go. All right, cool.
Sweet.
So we're going to combine, I think, these Chrome pages. Let's do that. And
Combine.
Yeah, now we can go ahead and let's do it here. npm install
What's
auth0.
What theme are you using, by the way?
Hot dog. And I know it's your
That's not
favorite. No,
Hot
no. I love being in your
No,
stream.
Hot Dog.
So to anyone who hasn't been in James's stream, he has an awesome command that allows you to randomize the theme color. And is Hot Dog actually one that I can like pay extra to make it? I forget how your thing works. But
We've talked about that. I haven't actually done that, but I need to. I just haven't sat down and added like
hot dog
extra
is a
functionality, but
nightmare
it's
though.
something. Yeah, I know. It's something I need to do though. Because
Uh,
yeah, it's a reward. Like if people save up 2,000
yeah.
points or whatever, then it's nice to be able to give them that ability.
Theme. How do I get to that again? Is it?
Preference color theme. You were there a second ago.
Got it. Atom one dark. There we go.
Okay, nice. Yep.
Yeah, I like having
Classic.
lots of colors involved. That just I don't know, that helps. All right, cool. So
Mm-hmm.
we've added auth0 / Next.js
Library.
auth0. Cool.
Yep. And so the majority, this is what I think is really cool. The majority of the configuration for this comes from environment variables. So I'll let you decide what you like. I don't know if you want to keep this project for now or if you're okay showing your private Auth0 credential, assuming you're not going to do anything with this later on. You're okay
Yeah.
to share it on screen.
I
But
let's burn it because I'm gonna show my my Prismic auth thing too because
cool. Okay.
like Prismic by default is open like
Open. Yep.
your
To
API
read.
out of the box. Yeah,
Yep.
to read. But you can lock it behind a an API key so that we can do what we're gonna do. So
Yep. Absolutely.
cool. So
So you can
.env.
create. Yep. You can create a .env. You could do local if you want to. Both will work in this case.
.env.local like that.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep. And if you go back to the GitHub page, they'll give you a little example of the .env
Nice.
right there. So copy that thing
Cool.
and paste it in there. And then so this first value is a long random value. They give you a little function that you can run in the terminal to generate this. This is a random string that is used to sign the cookies that are used to track the user. To track their session. So you can run there's a command in the documentation to
Okay.
generate one of these. If you go back one page, it should be like that one. So if you run that, that should just give you a random string, and you can copy and paste that into the Auth0 secret.
All right. So that's like there's no significance to my account with that. That's just a random
Correct.
a random value. Cool.
Yep. Jacob says their suggestion is to
Cookie
use
Monster.
Cookie Monster.
So
Yeah.
it could be anything. Like it doesn't really
could
matter.
be
But
could be anything. It has to be 32 characters though. So
okay.
it could be Cookie Monster times 5 if you wanted to.
I've heard Cookie Monster for 32 characters is the industry standard. But I mean, like I said it
Yes.
before, I'm not the authentication expert here.
That's right. Yeah, the words of advice. Cool. So if you go back to the .env, we'll configure the rest of those. So your Auth0 base URL in this case is basically going to be like, what domain are we running at? So right now we're running locally, so we're going to be running on localhost 3000. Once you deploy this to Vercel or Netlify or wherever you go, you would update that environment variable to be the deployed URL of where you are. But for now, that's good.
So
And then the last three.
marketingsecrets.com basically, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yep. When this goes live and makes millions. And then the last 3 credentials, these are specific to our application. So the issuer base URL, if you see in there, it has your domain. So the domain is basically the tenant that we talked about. I'll show you where to get that. The client ID is a unique identifier for this application that you registered in the dashboard. And then the Auth0 client secret is a secret key associated with that application. So we can go back over to the dashboard.
Cool.
Do you have like a multiple clipboard history app on your computer?
You know what? I've been meaning to do that. I have it on my Mac. I haven't brought it over to. Wait, have I? Have I? Let me see.
I don't know, but it's like one of my hottest tips of all time.
Honestly, it's fantastic. Power Toys. Okay. B1 Mind says Power Toys. I have Power Toys. Let's see if Power Toys. I just had it open earlier too.
Someone referenced Power Toys the other day.
Keyboard Manager, Power Toys run shortcut guide. Is it Keyboard Manager? Is that what? Enable Keyboard Manager. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so quick PSA. Yeah, you should absolutely get a clipboard history thing. It's fantastic. I have one for Mac. It's Copy Clip. I forget. But yeah, I don't see any here. But the color picker is really dope. So it's not going to help us, but it's pretty cool. So you should try it.
Give me all the colors.
Yeah.
There's one more. So I've used CopyClip on Mac, and also FlyCut is the one I've been using recently, which works really nicely. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's just great to have like the last 10 things you copied, and you can go into the menu for people who don't know what we're talking about. And you can get like the thing you copied like 5 times ago. It's wonderful.
Yep. It's a game changer.
But yeah, not
So
today.
in your in your Auth0 dashboard, this would be the perfect use case. But if you go, are we scroll up to the top? So under settings.
Settings.
And
Cool.
you were looking. Okay, so anyway, you got your domain, you've got your client ID, and then you've got that client secret. So all 3 of those things will go into that .env file.
Cool. And
whenever you're ready.
Just for stream, when chat creates their thing and burns through my my limit, you're gonna vouch for me and get my credit card wiped. Like it's gonna be fine.
Well, this is a great point you brought up because there was no credit card. You signed up for free, so there
Just
cannot
making
be
sure
any...
James Quick isn't going to be knocking on my door saying, I need some money. All right.
Now, I might do that, but it won't be because of your
It's not
Auth0
related.
account. It may be for,
It won't be a professional begging. It'll just be
correct.
pure.
It'll just be personal. Yeah. We've known each other long enough for me to beg you for money, I feel like.
That's fine. Yeah, no, absolutely. Cool. So domain, I put that there. Is that the base URL?
Yep.
Cool. Client ID, client ID.
Yep.
And client
also,
secret.
you mentioned being, I can't remember if we were live yet, but you mentioned being in the Northeast. And you also said y'all earlier, which I thought was interesting.
As an effort to be more inclusive, because I have broken out of the habit of saying, hey guys, right? Y'all does definitely make me sound very American and Southern also, but I find it to be
more inclusive.
Yeah, just because otherwise it's hello people, right? Like it's just y'all just sounds
really sterile.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
One thing actually we can try. Let me see.
Oh, do you have Cloak?
I do have Cloak.
Yeah.
So that's
by John Papa, right?
I think so.
I think he created that. Yeah. You may have to close the file and open it again, or not.
Yeah, I feel like we should try this. Just
yeah, hit it one more time. All right, John, we've got problems.
All right. Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Anyway, yeah, let's see the secret. Well. Let's see it.
Yeah, let's just drop that in there. All right, chat.
There it is. Boom.
Read it and weep. Should ask to
run wild.
Cool. All right, so you got that all set in there. So that's in our .env, and like you said, if we deployed a Vercel, we would add those into our environment variables there as well. Cool. Yep. All right, we're set up with that. Now what?
So we have those environment variables set. Now we need to, like, I'm going to say configure the SDK, but you'll see what this entails in a second. Basically, it means that you end up creating a dynamic route in Next.js. You export this one thing from the library, and then it automatically generates 4 different routes for us. So it generates the login route, the logout route, a callback route. Callback is after you send the user to Auth0 to authenticate and they come back, it calls the callback route. And then lastly, a me route, which is if you want to get information about the user. Nice. But you can go, if you scroll down a little bit more in the GitHub docs, they should show you exactly what that looks like.
Cool. And thank you, Aaron. Aaron says, welcome back. Feels good to be
back. Yep. Sorry. So that that middle section there.
Okay.
If you want to copy,
make this bigger for everybody.
Yeah. If you want to copy those 2 lines of code.
Cool. By the way, I feel like these copy buttons are newish. Is that just me?
I don't know.
I don't feel like they've been around
I'm not
forever,
sure,
but they're really handy.
Yeah.
Cool. So API auth0.js.
Yep. API auth.
So just do that. I should have done a file, but oh well.
And then you'll do the brackets and do the ... right. as well.
And do you want to explain what that does for Next.js?
Yep. So this becomes a actually the ... Do you know what the ... specifically does?
I think it catches everything. Like if you've got like I think it's kind of like a spreading. I don't know.
So that would just catch all the. Yeah. No, I think that makes sense.
I think normally, I think it turns like Auth0 into like an object that you can catch like whatever is passed there.
Yeah.
Where normally, if it's here, like if it's that's just going to be UID. That's my understanding. If someone in chat wants to correct us, then please do.
I think you're right. Yeah. So that UID, that will be the name of that part of the path, and then you can access that inside of your inside of that API route if you want to. In this case, it's doing the spread operator, which is getting any of these that go to /auth. And that's how Auth0 is able to determine if they go to /API/auth/login, it's going to trigger login, logout, etc.
Cool.
So all that happens from just having the stuff that you see here, which is kind of cool. So all of that is now configured, and the only thing you would need to do to trigger login would be to have a link inside of your application that goes to /API/auth/login.
Cool. Okay. Nice. So, oh, so it's going to handle like the entire page for me, basically?
Yeah. So, and this is one of the things that I think makes it really easy to get started, but there's also some people who wish they had more control over this. So we have something called universal login, and this is where from our application, we redirect the user basically over to Auth0. Auth0 will display whatever connections you have configured, if you have Google or email password, that sort of stuff. It also handles like multi-factor authentication and stuff. So it redirects the user over there. Auth0 handles all of that stuff and then redirects the user back. So in this case, all we're doing is sending the user to an API route, which then redirects the user to Auth0. Auth stuff happens and then sends the user back to us in our application.
Got it. Is there a, like, say I just want it to all happen on my server, I just want to like drop a component in there. Is that an option, or the main way that it happens is over on Auth0?
Definitely the main and most popular way
Cool.
that happens is the universal login. We've gotten a decent amount of requests for easier options to do embedded login. And to be honest, I don't think we have a great answer for that. It's one of the feedback that DevRel has passed on several times because we get asked that exact same question a lot. And I think that gets complicated because of all the things that the universal login does. Again, looking at like multi-factor authentication and all the different potential configurations that you have for social connections. Because it does all that stuff for you, it's very nice, and it would be more cumbersome to do that embedded into your site. But it is something that we get asked about a lot.
Got it. Yeah, no, but it makes sense that like all that power, having all of that, you can log in with whatever the heck you want. It sounds like that comes at what I think is a small cost of, but it's got to be in this like super secure thing that we're handling over here. We can't just ship that to everyone's site. But that's really cool. Cool. So we got that
if you have a login button, which it looked like you had a login component.
I had a login page that I just had literally that. So we can instead change the path so that it goes to slash
API/auth/login. Yep.
Cool. So let me go into the menu. Just have these little dinky paths.
Oh, and you're gonna do it from here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got so it was what /API/.
So here you can type that out, but here's one tricky thing that I've sent feedback to a lot. So you'll see this in a second. When you trigger the login, the universal login in Auth0, there's a toggle there for you to switch between login and sign up. So I would do both of these links like you have them, where it's going to /login.
Yeah.
If you want it to take the user directly to it being toggled to sign up, you have to pass along a parameter in that request, which unfortunately in this case means you have to create another API endpoint. So I just wouldn't worry about that right now. So I would do both of those like you have them to the login page.
Cool. So publishing our menu, and then back here, hitting refresh. I actually think I closed out of our, one sec, I ended it to install Auth0.
When we install the package, yeah.
Yep.
Also, the color picker built into to Windows, I didn't know about that. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Or is that, it's part of PowerToys?
I think it's Command-Shift-C, I think. Yeah, see, I don't know, can you see it? You can see it, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's sweet.
So it's just handy. And then when I do it, if I can manage to grab that yellow, it comes up with like slightly darker, slightly more vibrant kind of versions.
Awesome.
It has history. So I don't have clipboard history, but I have color history.
Color
Is that what you're looking for?
Yes. Yeah, we can just take the color of those secret.
That could have been the secret. Could have been everyone's favorite colors. Yeah. Nice. Cool. So that's up and running. We're back here. We got sign up. It doesn't look like it's pointing to the right
Uh,
thing. I know exactly why. One sec, I changed it in my slice model, but I didn't change it in. Wait, where's menu? Layout components. Where's my menu? Whoa, thank you for the follow. Let me just find header menu. It's in the header. Like I said, I did not create this site, so I don't know my way around it too well. Menu links. Where's that links component? Here it is. Ahref. Let's just go menu link.path. That should fix it. Let's see if that worked. And cool, we got /API/auth/login. I realize the very bottom of my page cuts off, so people can't see the link that I'm hovering, but let's give it a click. Are we good to go?
give it a shot.
All right, click. Let's see
The moment of truth.
Oops, something went wrong.
This is, there's one other configuration I forgot inside of the dashboard.
I love this guy.
So I know, right? So Auth0 needs to know for security purposes what sort of applications might be trying to log in and where we can actually log the user, where we can actually redirect the user back to. So after we send the user away, it needs to know where we're able to send this user back to. So inside of those properties, if you scroll down a little bit to the callback URLs and the logout URLs,
okay.
In the GitHub repo, you can copy what's there. So if we go back to that doc, it should have those. Maybe it was higher up, actually. Not yet, but we will in a second. So where are, there we go. So the callback URLs and the, So again, this callback one is specifically saying like, okay, after we log in, Auth0, you're allowed to call me back here. You're allowed to come back to this URL. And then the logout base URLs is where are we allowing those logouts to happen as well.
Awesome. Okay, that was the logout URL. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need
and then give
this?
You don't need to have that one. In this case, just the callback and the logout. And then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, we really need like a floating save button. But make sure to save those changes.
Cool. Yeah. Good to know. Changes have been saved. So
and now, give it a refresh and try it again. Hopefully we'll be good.
Nice.
There we go.
Log into.
And
there you go. There's the thing that we.
The tenant name.
Yeah.
And then you've got the app name and marketing secrets. And in this case, you can log in with Google if you want. There's also, if you see the toggle little button for sign up, you could go ahead and create an email password account.
Oh, okay. So that's my toggle.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, cool. I love that it's already filling it in for me. Thanks, Chrome, for doing that. Chrome's just like, you've been here before. I know the password. It's cool. I got it.
Probably, this is one of the things that comes with a paid tier is having this hosted on a custom domain. So like one of the downsides of this being on a .auth0.com domain is if you've probably used another app that didn't have a custom domain. So this is actually your email and password associated with a different app, but I guess I shouldn't say you could use it here because that goes against what we recommend with password managers and etc. Yeah. But
as long as it's your mom's name and her birthday, it's fine. No one's going to guess that.
And an exclamation on the end just to make sure you got all the
all the fields
that too? Covered.
Other people do that?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I thought that was my thing. Need to change some passwords.
Hands up in the chat if people create their passwords the way that we just talked about.
Or if I've been at so many companies or wherever where it's like Walmart 2019, but like the A in Walmart is an @ symbol, and then it's like exclamation mark. And I'm like, y'all are passing. Y'all, come on, like, what are you doing?
Yes.
All right. Cool. So we've got our thing. We got our sign up. And this is like the default one. I'm guessing I can add more. I can say, hey, let them log in with GitHub. Let them log in with whatever.
Yep. Discord, Twitter, Google, Facebook, all the things. And one thing to know about that I think we should do a better job of advertising, that is configured with Google by default for you to see like how that works, but it's configured with test credentials. So you wouldn't like you would need to go and register an application with Google, get real credentials if you wanted to actually use that in a deployed app. But
Got
just for
it.
testing, they set it up with their test credentials
Okay.
so that you can get up and running quicker and see how it goes.
Got it. So I can't just go through Auth0 and check like 15 different boxes and have it working right away. I have to myself kind of go verify with Google, go verify with GitHub,
Yep.
go. So it's just that kind of normal security process, but
Hmm.
I don't have to go and then screw with Google's own authentication thing and then
Correct.
try to put that alongside GitHub's and try to work all those
Hmm.
out together and cobble together my own Auth0 by hand. You're doing it for me so that
Yes.
I can offer those five and they all seamlessly integrate together,
Yep.
right?
100%. You nailed
Um,
it.
can you have like I know it's kind of common at Prismic, we're kind of dealing with it where we've always done it through email sign up, but now we're also offering GitHub sign up, and so like
You might have
combining
the same
those
email.
into one user.
Hmm.
Does Auth0 allow for that kind of out of the box where
Yep. Auth0 does allow you to merge those accounts that have the same email. I haven't done it myself.
just
Like I just
curious?
haven't had that scenario, but it is a feature that is supported. Yep.
Very cool. All right, nice. And also, Ben Holmes in the chat, out of context, the phrase "frantic Facebook searching for Trost's mom." I can't support it, Ben. Like I just I don't know what you're up to, man. She's happily married. All right,
uh,
all right.
yeah. So you can, yeah,
Back on track.
you can finish this. You can either do what you're doing
Should
by
I log
creating a
in?
new account.
Should I create? I should sign up for my own thing with my email, right? Should sign up for my
Yeah.
is
You could do,
is
yeah.
yeah. I should
You
sign
could do
up.
you could do either the email or you could do your Google account. Either way.
All right, cool. I can do my Google account. All right, nice. We'll do
Yep.
that, and we'll
And
do
this
it
will
through
show what you're
Prismic.
seeing here, but I'm assuming that's okay to show on screen.
I think so. Marketing Secrets is requesting access to your dev account, profile access to your profile and email. Accept. Nice.
So
And there we go.
if
I got
we were
redirected right
trying to
back.
do something, yep.
Nice.
And so you can't quite see it here, but you are considered logged in, and we'll take a
Right.
look at how to show that now if
Awesome.
you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we talked about like Next.js is this hybrid that can do everything, including client-side render stuff. It can do hydration on the front end. It can also do server-side rendered stuff. The tracking of the user is almost like your traditional cookie session stuff that
Okay.
people maybe have done in the past with Ruby on Rails or a full Node app or something like that. But we also have hooks on the front end to tap into that user information so that you
Nice.
can conditionally render log in, log out buttons and that sort of stuff. So if you scroll back down in the documentation for the GitHub repo to about right a little bit more right there. If you wrap your app.js underscore app.js with the user provider that comes from the SDK, then
Okay.
you'll have access to a use user hook in any of your front end components that you want.
Nice. All right, and then we can like display their name and do that like that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. Just say that they're logged in and say like
Yep.
hello Alex, that kind of stuff. Awesome.
Yep. Absolutely.
Having the stuff out of the
So
box
in
is really
the
handy.
yes, and there's two other things we may not get to, but at least we'll mention of like my favorite features of this SDK.
All right.
So this will be up a little bit in the underscore app.
Cool.
Yep. And
I've already got some stuff in here, so I'm just gonna drop it here.
good idea.
And then I think we have React. We need that new one. And then we
Yep.
just need user
So
provider.
wrap that user provider, yeah, around your app down there. Yep.
Cool. Component, page props, are
All
good.
that should be the same. Yeah.
Nice. And
Cool.
hitting save.
So then if you want to open your menu or your header, I think is where you had the nav
Yes. Header right here.
buttons.
Cool.
So you can use the use user hook at the top of the page to get the actual user.
Nice. All right. So import use user. Oh, like that.
And it should give you some auto import in VS Code too.
From it's I'm only getting, oh, here we go. There we go. Cool. Just like that.
I think so. It's coming through a little blurry on my end,
Okay,
but
here
I
we go.
think that
Good feedback.
is right.
Auth0,
And
Next.js,
then,
Auth0. Let me just make this
yep,
into a. What's the name for it's like the auto.
non-implicit return.
Yeah, that's it. I always like going for the non-implicit or the one where I have to say return is because I
Hmm.
typically end up going in and changing it,
And doing something. Yeah.
and whenever I don't, it doesn't matter, right? Like the extra couple characters don't really matter. Need to hook up Cloudinary as well to have a custom GIF of the twins from The Shining saying hello, Alex. Yeah, that's a default out of the box feature of Auth0, though, isn't it? Isn't that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If
Yeah.
the
Done
person's
and
name
done.
is Alex, it shows the picture from The Shining.
That's right.
Const
Um,
user use user.
and then Jacob was saying, I presume this is the best reason to have a logged in state. I'm not.
He's referring to his own joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So okay. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm taking stuff too seriously.
All good. All good. Yeah, cool. So we got const user equals use user, just like this. I'm trusting trusting my Copilot. And I don't mean you, I mean literally GitHub Copilot. So
Are you using? How have you enjoyed that so far?
I freaking love it. It is so cool. It blows me away. A lot of the times it's like, wow, that's amazing that you thought of that. It's wrong, but it's amazing that you came up with that. There's always like one or two things I have to tweak, but like it's blown me away many times. A lot of times like coding by myself on this stream, I'll go, chat, it came, look at that. Like it's really smart. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah.
it saved me a lot of time, especially for like CSS classes where I'm like card, boom, it'll take care of like your generic basic card for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like menu, it'll take care of like, it kind of gets it. It's super clever. I like it.
Nice.
Luxonata, good to see you. Good people in chat.
I've kind of avoided it intentionally because I did a YouTube video on this of just like, I feel like it's easy to overlook when something is so cool, like how much time you actually spend correcting it. So and again, I haven't used it yet, so I kind of question whether or not it does save time. So I'm really curious to see people's feedback that have used it to hear that they do think it saved them time. So at some point I need to sit down and I guess I have to apply for the beta or whatever, and try it out for a while so I can actually have an informed opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow. Ben just said, yeah. I'll never get over when we were writing a horse card component and it thought of jockey name as a prop. Yeah, like one of those things where you're like, holy shit, you are
Whoa.
smart. You are
Yeah.
smart. Like
That's cool.
for it to have like the neural network to go, all right, well, jockeys, horses, got it. They're gonna need a jockey name, like to know that jockeys need, like whose code did it
That's
steal
pretty
that
wild.
from? I have no idea, but yeah, Ben,
That's
great
wild,
example. Cool.
It's probably your code from like a long time ago.
That's all I do. I just my jockey database app. It's gonna make me rich. Cool. We got these links.
And actually, I just realized those links. Yeah, you could pass it through, but the benefit of this being a hook is we could just use that hook directly inside of the links component.
Cool. So I'll yank it out of there.
And if I'd realized that originally, I would have. It's still in the same file. Cool. So
yeah.
And then you can do your basic conditional display in React. So user and for your login, and then you could copy and paste that and do the same thing for not user and log out, or actually the other way around. But
oh yeah, we have to do log out. Cool. One thing I didn't think of here. We've got it. So we'll just hard code it and I'll delete it from Prismic because that I think is fine. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that. But yeah, for everybody that may not realize what we're saying, all these links are coming from what's defined inside of Prismic. So we have no way of knowing, we have no way of dynamically knowing based on what comes from Prismic whether or not they should be displayed, unless we did some really gross logic in there. So I think, it would be easier to.
So I mean, if this started to build out beyond this simple example, like I'll just kind of do it real quick where like menu, I would add a second group here, add new field. Where are my groups?
For like logged in links and logged out links.
Exactly. Like authenticated links, like not authenticated, however you want to call it. And we would just toggle between those. Like if user, show these. If not, show those, right? But for the sake of this, we're already at an hour, so I don't want to. We will get into some content modeling. I don't want to get into that content modeling. I think that's kind of basic. We can just do that ourselves. So I'm just going to take menu links out entirely because we're not going to really need it.
Also, this whole time I was thinking we had an hour for the stream, not 2.
Oh,
And I was
is
like,
that
we
cool?
really didn't get. No, it's totally fine. I've got it in my
cool.
calendar. It's booked. I just was thinking
Cool.
like, man, we didn't get as far as I wanted to. So we're totally good.
All right, nice. Yeah, because I'm also not going to hold you hostage if you've got to go to your thing after
Nope,
this.
I am. Yep, I'm good.
Chat and I will just figure our way out.
Chat away.
They'll just be like, all right, do you think we add auth here now? Chat, what am I doing?
Auth goes everywhere.
Yep. All right, so user and. Let's see if it can impress James. Look at that. It knew we needed to close that. I mean, that's pretty clever.
Smart.
No, we actually don't want that.
Oh, you're going to do a ternary. Nice. Yep.
Yeah.
And the one potential, well, I guess it could go, I guess it could go either way. I was thinking if you broke those out into separate components for authenticated links in the code, then you could do like the user and the opposite of user and, but this still makes sense with the ternary.
Got it.
My wife just messaged me and said she's like listening in on the stream. She says that Alex is funny. So congratulations. You have won my wife's approval.
Chat, I did it. We did it. Give me some confetti, chat. We did it.
Mike,
this is.
Do you have a command for confetti?
This is when I need
nice.
I need the freaking like the da 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 da. That I gotta have the music on the soundboard. We've done it, chat. Also, we can do specific confetti. Oh, see that's what I need. That's what I need.
Yes.
We
need
can
clap for yourself. Yeah.
Send up some specific confetti, chat, because that's always fun when chat comes up with some fun.
Oh,
ones.
so the yay is nice. I like it.
It's a generic group. Jacob, it's got to be specific emojis only. I haven't figured out how to do the Twitch ones yet.
Okay.
Cool. So we got user articles. Then we want to log in and then sign up, right? Oh, also with articles, we want to do log out. All right, settle this for me, James. Log in, 2 words or 1 word?
I think I do this differently depending on like the verb is 2 words to me. Like it's log and then in.
Right.
If I were to go through a login process,
interesting.
It would be 1. And I have no idea if this is actually real. This is just the way that I look at it.
I like this take. I think that sounds right to me. That sounds good. Will Johnson in the house. Good to see you, Will.
Will, what's going on? Will is, I don't know if you know this, Alex, but my teammate at Auth0 as of, it's been like a month now. But
I forgot. Will, congratulations. Once again, I know I've congratulated Will like 10 times on that specific thing, but I'm saying it as if it's the first time I've heard it. Will, congrats. But yeah, seriously, that is awesome. You've got some. You also have who else do you have on the team too? I don't want to say because I don't want it to be a bummer if that person's not on your
wrong.
Team.
Yeah, it'd be. I feel like I should put you on the spot and just see what you come up with, but I won't do that. So Sam Julien is the director of developer marketing.
Great DevRel newsletter.
Yes, absolutely. And then in the States we have Tyler Clark. In Brazil, we have Jess Temporal. Anna Cedre is the manager of DevRel out of Spain. Sam Bellin, or Eurosam, as we affectionately refer to him, is in Belgium. And I hope I'm not missing anyone. But lastly, Ben DeCry is in Australia on the DevRel team.
Got it. I was thinking Ciora, but she's working with Kurt Kempel over at Apollo. Auth0 and Apollo, and they got the
they got the A's. They got it's the whole thing.
Get a new letter is all I got to say to them.
Yeah, just rebranding is not that hard, right?
Yeah, come on. No, that's cool though. All right. I think we're looking good? I think I got an extra.
Yeah,
something here.
give that a shot. And the cool thing is, since we've already logged in, if you go back to the page, hopefully we'll just see that it's now showing the log out link instead of the login link.
Is
If
this
you can
wrong? Hold on one sec. I'm just trying to figure out what I am doing wrong.
return, so do you have your closing? I can't see if that's a bracket or so you should have a closing parenthesis at the bottom of the return.
Yeah, I got a closing. Oh, is it this? No, that's not it.
Is that a parenthesis or a bracket?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's a
like,
parenthesis and then a
okay.
curly bracket. Let me pump up that size one more time.
Is header the original
Yep.
opening
We
tag up
don't need any
there?
fragments. Yeah. Let me just remove the return and see if that solves it. It shouldn't, but it could just be
Uh,
a linting thing.
I
My anchor, my links. Did I break the links in some way? Nope, didn't mean to do that. Rich text as text. I don't know what's wrong. I'm just gonna hit save and see
in
if
this
it's broken
case,
over
if you
on
do,
it.
I think if
It
you
could just
do
be
an
shitty
implicit
linting.
return,
Nope.
I think if you do the implicit return in
I
there,
need parentheses.
like you have it, you would need parentheses.
All right, let me go back to this. Let me see what it's yelling at me for. Nope, it's working. Oh, and it says log out.
Nice.
Awesome. I need to fix that link though. So instead of /articles, well, that one's the only one that it does need articles. This needs
So this will be the same thing we
API.
did earlier, /API/auth, and then /logout
All
with
one
no
word.
space. Yeah.
Nice. Log in.
Yep.
This one's gonna be sign up, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then that
And
one,
in the
we'll just
future,
do it
like
the
I
same
don't,
way.
yeah, do it the same way. In the future, and make sure it's login. You could create another API endpoint. And basically you're just gonna call like the login function that's already there that comes from the package. You'll just pass one parameter, which is screen hint, and say screen hint equals sign up. So that's a hint that when that universal login loads, which screen to show. So it's saying like, hey, when you get there, show me the sign up page tab instead of the login tab.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome. And so now we've got articles log out. So if I hit log out, that should go through that process and log me out.
We'll fingers crossed test it
All
out.
right, let's see. It kicked me back here, and there it is. Log
Nice.
in,
Yeah.
sign up. And then I can log in,
Sweet.
go back through the whole thing, continue with Google.
Let's see how many
I
Gmail
think I
accounts you
did
have.
my Prismic one. I haven't gotten rid of my old jobs one. There we go. I'm back in. Nice.
Nice. It's working.
And so can I get my username? Is like
Yep.
user.name a thing? Or should I
So
log what that is?
yeah, go ahead and log that out. And one thing you'll see is there's a little bit of loading state. So since this is happening on the front end, like your application is technically going to load before Auth0 knows 100% whether or not your user is loaded.
Am I
So if you
doxing
were to do
myself
like
here at all? I just realized like
no, there shouldn't be
okay, good.
anything private in here, and
Right,
that's
'cause it's
for
on the
several
client.
different reasons.
Cool.
Yep. And like things for people to keep in mind, like don't ever store credit card information and ID tokens and access tokens. Like that sort of stuff is meant to be private for this reason. But give this page a full refresh.
Okay, cool.
And I'm thinking we'll see undefined, and then you'll see the user, and I'll explain why in a second.
Interesting.
So that's because on the front end, like as the application loads, Auth0 is needing to figure out whether or not the user is logged in. So it takes like that split second. So there's also an is loading property in that use user hook, and you could do that to conditionally display a loader or conditionally display anything you want.
Cool.
So if you make any assumptions about the user being logged in here in code, like accessing the user.name, you would want to make sure that that the user is actually there. So you would check to make sure user has actually been loaded before you try to access that property.
Got it. Okay. So also don't know why this turned. I feel like my linter is just borking on us here. Let me close this file and reopen it. Nope, still doesn't like it. Okay. Because this shouldn't be all green. This is just strange.
Should not be. So you got your closing header, and then
I'm just gonna.
the style have.
We didn't touch the style bit. but there it is. Okay, let's just
Wait,
have
so
it
it
be.
was the style part?
Yeah, I guess we'll keep it there
Hey,
for now.
now you got a skinny nav.
Yeah, why not? Nice and compact. All right, cool. I don't know why style was weird, but oh well.
Interesting.
So we have this is loading. So how would you normally recommend we handle this? Just
So if you're looking at that like user ternary thing, I would say like user and not is loading, so that by default it shows login, and then you'll see that little blip. So you could fix that by looking for the is loading property and displaying something else entirely with is loading, so you see like nothing.
right.
Or anyway, so there's a couple different ways you could do it. This is probably the easiest just to kind of prove out the point. And then
It's pretty
based on
fast though.
this,
Like just
yeah,
based on
it's
how
not
it's
bad.
going. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty instant.
So if you do like inside of your nav, can you inside of the authenticated nav, can you add just like a paragraph tag there for like user.name?
Inside like here,
So
you
right
think?
underneath the logout button, or yeah, anywhere inside of there.
Cool. Just do here. It's still inside. I'll do it on a list item just so it doesn't yell at me. 'Cause I'm
What could
still
go wrong with
inside.
storing credit card details?
Yeah,
Ask
why not? Real quick,
Frackberg.
Thomas, thank you so much for that subscription. Really good to see you, and it's very kind. Thank you. Great to have you here. So we're gonna do user. Well, hold on. First off, you see, look at that. Like, is that a thing?
Oh,
Slash
interesting.
user info. Is that the path that you would take, or no? Is that made up?
So there actually is an API endpoint that does come defined with this, but it's API/auth/me, not user info.
Got it.
Um,
Okay.
but that would be redirecting you to an API endpoint instead of a page to display the user information, which is probably not what we want.
Cool.
And this is kind of like, again, I'm not trying to like push back too much because I don't have experience with Copilot, but like I question like that thing that seemed like it's really cool that it came up with that and it's
Right.
close, but it's just far enough away that I don't think that in particular would save me time. But
Right.
for things, I imagine that like I have no idea how to use the Twitter API, just know what I want to do. Like it could probably give me code that I would otherwise have to go look up. But if it's trying to write code for me that I already know and it's only a couple lines, it probably doesn't help me that much.
Right.
Again, this is the reason I need to actually turn it, like get into it and use it for a while so that I have a more informed opinion.
The main thing that I'm seeing with it, and I don't want to spend all day on Copilots. Sorry to keep bringing it back to it, but I don't see it cutting into like, oh, it's gonna take my job. It's gonna take
Yeah.
Stack Overflow's ad revenue. It's keeping me from
Yeah.
Googling how do
Right.
I get a unique thing. All I got to do now is write a decent enough comment, and I get that function right in my code.
Yep.
That's really what it's doing for me for the most part. It's keeping me off of Stack Overflow and more in my editor, because those
Yep.
kinds of things I can trust for the most part. But yeah, like just like it suggesting random links and random whatever else. But that kind of stuff that's like very established. It's a common problem of find unique things in an array, or like
Yep.
all those kinds of functions. It takes care of it for me. Cool. So
Makes
we've
sense.
got this thing. Yeah, and it puts my name right there. That's really, really handy. That was pretty effortless in terms of what I had to do.
Cool. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Do you want to do like a gated profile page? So do you want to turn that
Yeah,
into
let's
an
start with
actual link?
that. Yeah.
And yeah. So turn that link into a link that just says like my profile, and then
Cool.
have it linked to a page that we'll create at like literally /profile.
Awesome. So yeah, let's just go with this and then
There's something, yeah.
cool.
You can leave user info if that,
Yeah, sure.
whatever.
It'll
makes
make
sense.
Copilot happy.
That's right. Thank you, Copilot.
make the AI happy. That's what I want to do. Cool.
And then
got user info,
yeah, so
profile.
we'll need to create that page. So inside of pages, right click new file, profile.js. Yep. And I stub out my components the exact same way, and then I
RFC.
capitalize it the exact same way.
Nice.
So throw in your use user hook, and we'll grab the user information again.
Let's see if I can. No, I was hoping to get some kind of
If you
autocomplete
type it
there.
outside of, so go back and type it without the brackets.
Oh.
So if you like backtrack and then now do use user. Okay, it works on my machine, so I'll leave it
Well, if
at
it works
that.
on yours.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So usually GitHub, there
Cool.
you go, or excuse me,
I
VS
needed to
Code is
drop the
smart enough to
const.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and
And then
then
now
here
you
it
can
is.
do, yeah. So that was nice. I like
Yeah.
that completion. That
Right.
worked. And then just do like do a paragraph tag and then dump out like the JSONified version of the user. So in brackets like JSON.stringify and then just user.
Nice.
I think there's some sort of other flag you can do to like format it with stringify. I can't remember what it is. But this will probably
I know
be
what
good
you
for
mean.
now.
Chat might know.
Yeah.
Chat will know.
Chat, help us out. It's
I have
actually probably in, if you look at the GitHub repo, the README, they
over here.
probably have an example of that. If you
I
just do a
couldn't
search
find
for
stringify.
profile, maybe. Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Profile.
And profile, no. Okay, that's okay. So this won't look the best, but like we're really just kind of proving out a point here. So
Just
if you
save
click on
that.
this,
Save that. Cool.
we might see an error, or actually we won't. So that worked. So the potential error that I was talking about, and actually we will see an error if you refresh, and I'll explain why. So refresh right now.
I did.
We didn't see an error.
Hold
Look in
on,
the console.
Hold on. Warnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was showing. Here we go. 10 issues.
See if that's what I'm thinking about. Nope, that's not what I'm thinking about. So if you do in your terminal, just like in the console right there, do JSON.stringify and then pass it undefined, which maybe that just works. Maybe it doesn't have to be anything. Okay. So what's happening, if you remember back to that like loading state, we were, there's that split second where it's loading and it looks like it's able to handle that just fine because JSON stringify of undefined doesn't throw an error, which is okay. If you were to start accessing those properties, we would still have that same timing issue of needing to make sure that that the user has been loaded in memory as the application loads before we try to access its properties. So if you were to print out, you can do like an H1 for like user.name. We'd see the error that we saw before.
Users undefined, and you get that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think what Ben and Jacob are saying is kind of.
And then do a pre. Yep, that sounds right.
What did that do? Besides,
looks
make it
close.
I don't know. What if we remove the pre? Yeah, I don't know what null true is.
Should yeah, I can't remember what the
anyway.
options
Yeah,
are,
I get what you mean. Where user.name, we will get an error there. If I refresh. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. Cool.
Yeah,
so there is that little bit of. Yep, there is that little bit of that. So like you could do a short circuit here and say like if not user, then return a paragraph tag that says loading.
Got it.
And actually, yeah, if you want to do that, that wouldn't.
Cool. So
wouldn't hurt to add it
up here, or do you want to do it in the JSX?
Yeah, I would do it there. And then you can grab that. Actually, instead of doing it by user, grab the is loading property.
Cool.
And I'll show you why here in a second. And do it based on if it is loading, return loading. Right. Yeah. So give that a shot.
True, return that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you'll see probably like it's too quick right now to see, but it at least handles it. Yeah. So the problem though is.
Thank you for the sub, Lexonata. I really appreciate it. Y'all are so kind. A lot of subs today.
I know, right? You're crushing it. Do you want to wrap this in your page layout, like whatever includes your nav bar?
Yeah.
Do you want to add that to this page?
Once again, I did not make this page, so let's. Well, first off, that's not what this is. This is marketing.
This is marketing.
This is gonna be how I retire. All right. So layout. We got what is it?
It looks like B Holmes is looking into the. There's an option for leaving new lines. Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Got the option for leaving new lines. That's what it is. I found it. All right, here we go. It's a Dan Abramov tweet, not usually raunchy or anything like that. I can probably click this. If you're in the stage of figuring data model and how state is spread between components, pre-JSON stringify stuff,
null2. Nice.
is your best friend. Dump props, state, etc. to the screen and make interactions change that correctly. Interesting. It just earned a like. I don't even know what it does fully, but I gotta like it. That's just how that goes, I think. JSON.stringify null2. All right, we're a little actually not past it. User dot is it null?
User null,
two.
yeah. 2.
All right, let's see real quick just to have some.
It's gonna look beautiful.
Just to have a little bit of I still don't totally get the difference. I don't know.
Is that coming?
I just wanted some closure.
Are we talking about JavaScript closures? Oh, and the pre-tags. Yeah, that should do it. Fingers crossed.
There it is.
There, see, look at that.
All right, chat.
It looks like JSON
the closure we all wanted. Yes,
yes.
That looks fantastic. That's a lot easier to look at. Good tips, chat. And I think James, you knew this was a thing. You just didn't know what it was, right?
Knew it was there. Yeah, it's in like all of our starter demos for React and Next.js and stuff. Use it. So
what were we doing?
Go ahead and
the layout.
wrap your layout. Yeah, whatever you need to do to add the layout
wrap
wrapper.
Them both in layout. So that's what I'm wondering. Here we go. So import layout.
I guess that would be that would be a reason to maybe combine
is it components?
The is loading with a
like put it in the JSX,
one,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna return layout. Yep. Smart thing. So we're gonna go is loading.
It actually gave you that paragraph.
Yeah, you can just I gotta trigger it again. Nope, it's not gonna suggest it again. It said you shunned me the first time.
Yeah, you were like, you don't trust me.
You don't think you need me?
I give you nothing.
Well, that's what happens when I hack your Google Home and freeze you out of your house. Yeah, it's gonna take over. We know it. Import layout from components. Fail to compile. Layout might need something passed in. Children menu. We're not passing in a menu because that's being fetched. Let's just go menu just for laziness. It's coming from Prismic and I want to have to set up the whole fetching bit on profile right now. So that should take care of that. Nope.
Is it expecting, are those required?
That this might not, module can't can't resolve components. I thought I did autocomplete for that though. Profile, layout from.
What directory are we in?
I'm in
so you're in pages.
Going up to components, layout from.
From layout?
Right.
Yeah.
From layout. Yeah. There we go.
Help.
Stopped a little too soon.
No. Nothing was returned from render.
If is loading return.
Yeah. So get rid of that one.
Nice. All right, we saw the loading for a second. Still not getting a layout, but I think the layout is only the menu up top, and I removed that. So I think that's the only thing we're getting back. Although now let's just real quick. Sorry to derail so much into this.
All good.
But where did that go? Header. Header is almost completely hard-coded, so let's just finish that off. And then remove the menu requirement. Menu links can stay, but we're not using any of the menu links that we're passing in because we're hard coding them now. Cool. Okay. So that should be fine. Menu, just remove that for the sake of it. Cool, got that. Profile.
My wife sending me messages in Slack as she's listening. I guess this is a while ago, but we were talking about log in and log out. 2 words or one. She said 1 word is her opinion.
Okay, for all kinds.
I guess so. Yeah, Jess, if you're still listening, hit me up in Slack, and she's got to. Yeah, you know what's really really cool? My mother-in-law, Jess's mom, will listen in to like my streams on Friday every once in a while. And she said like she'll literally have to like turn it off because she gets so distracted. Like she has no idea on the like technical stuff what we're talking about, but she's just so interested that she's like, all right, I have to work. I got to turn this off.
I'm currently horrified, James. First off, love that story. I'm horrified that my mom is watching this whole time, and that
She definitely is. Yep.
shit.
As
The
long as she
things we
doesn't
said
share
in
her
chat.
birthday,
Yeah,
we should be
mom,
good.
don't.
Passwords are safe.
Oh man, that's adorable though that she watches you. That's so cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it makes me feel special.
Little life in chat going, oh no. Cool. So we've got our little tiny nav bar up there. We removed most
Perfect.
styling from it, but it's trying. It's still there. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
So here's another cool thing. So to prove out a point, click the logout button, which that will take you back to the home page. And then just type in the browser, try to go to that profile page directly. Yep. And this is something we don't want to happen, right?
Right.
Like we don't want to use, like if they're not logged in, there's no sense in them being in a profile page.
Right.
And conveniently, this is again one of my favorite features. Auth0 has a higher order component that you can use that wraps, actually just kind of like overrides get server side props, and it will redirect a user to the login route if they're not logged in. If they are logged in, it will allow them to get to the page. And there's an example of this inside of the GitHub README if you want to open it back
awesome.
up.
That's fantastic. I was wondering how we handle, because that's what we're like getting to eventually, is that like we've got articles, but we want it so that if someone goes there and they're not authorized, you say get out of there.
Kick them out. Yes.
Nice.
So scroll up, I believe. And so right, yeah. So with page auth required, the bottom one, you can guess what the with API auth required is. So if you, so you export that as your get server side props, and then you'll have to import with page auth required from the library.
Cool. All right.
So if you had a multiple clipboard, you wouldn't have to do all this back and forth.
I didn't sign up for this, James. Shaming. Oh wait, I'm doing the wrong file. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
But I could have like an authenticated, or I'm guessing here. Actually, no, it'd have to be in pages because I can't do get server side props from components. I have to do it from a page. So it's gonna say I could have like a layout that wraps all these, but I have to have that on a page. So I couldn't.
You have to have it on a page.
I have to put these on all pages that correspond with that. All right. Let me
make sure to remove that line, by the way, that you had pasted in there.
Here's my issue. I've got to only have one thing on my clipboard at a time. So I wanted to drop off that first thing before I came back.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. I love it.
Awesome. So now, if I'm here, I'm not logged in. If I refresh, it kicks me
Then it just takes you. Yeah. And
Awesome.
you can override that. Like sometimes you may just want to redirect the user to
homepage or something.
Login page. Yeah, whatever you want to do. But by default, this will just send them to that login.
That makes
login
sense,
experience. Yep.
That's
and then if you log in from here, it should take you back to that same page and show you your profile information.
Try it. Continue with Google. Yep. Nice.
Dun, 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 dun. So it's kind of cool that like it has the ability to redirect back to a page that you were already on is already packaged together, right? So you went back exactly to where you were. So you don't have to they don't have to go through the process of finding that page again, which I think is pretty nice.
No, that's fantastic. Awesome. So we can do that same sort of thing for articles. So I haven't built out articles yet, but we've got this here, basically this dynamic route in Next.js where it's going to be an article / and I think like the name of the article, right? I haven't made, or I haven't thought about the like index. I guess we can handle that real quick. New file index JS. This might be the wrong thing to do, but
like to display
all articles or whatever. Yeah.
We
can just sit on that for a second. We're gonna have to have that. So let's see. We're gonna want to do a. I'm jumping ahead maybe a little bit. So in Prismic, in Slice Machine, this is all happening local. So on our local host. Let's make a.
Wait, you can. Explain to me something.
Yeah.
So Sanity is the only like headless CMS that I know of that has like you can run the GUI yourself, and that comes with like these other trade-offs of you have to write the code for the models and stuff too. What exact is this? Is this just Prismic Builder that you're running locally?
Yeah. So we're not actually going to be. So basically, what we've done is we've kind of said, all right, Prismic has two main users, right? Developers and editors. And so we're
Mm-hmm.
kind of giving both user bases their like optimal experience. So we're separating out the development experience and bringing it local so that you can do things like Git versioning, have it all have your models backed up with Git. Just
So those are actually in code,
yeah.
the models.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if we go in here real quick, and I'm sorry I didn't walk you through this as well as I should have, but basically we've got our custom types, which is our like our home page. We're going to create an article custom type, and those custom types are just essentially types of data, right? So we
Yep.
could have like an author type in there. If you and I are both writing
Mm-hmm.
marketing secrets, we could
Obviously,
have
we are.
we're clearly and then we can have an article and we can link those different custom types. Then
Can I see what, like, can you open like the
yeah, absolutely,
homepage
homepage
or menu?
so okay, so
That's just
those are the mocks that we actually use to I'll get to that in a second. So I'm going a little
okay.
out of where we want to be. So that banner slice that we've got on the homepage, here's the actual model for that, right? And so we've got some placeholder text that can show up in our storybook. Or sorry, the placeholder text is what shows up in Prismic when the editor goes in and works on that. But basically, we're doing this all local. This usually happens on Prismic IO, but
Mm-hmm.
we're bringing this local so that you can Git version this, and
Huh.
then that's what you will see if you go to the homepage. If I get rid
If you
of
get rid
the
of,
title, this
yeah,
is where it all begins,
yeah.
that sort of thing. And the way I'm editing that is through this banner slice right here. So this is happening locally. If I want to add a new field to this, say we want, I don't know, another image, right? We can just add it there, second image. And then we can even do things like make it a specific size. We can edit the mocks so that in our mocks, which are integrating with Storybook, we can always call in that lion, right? And the handy thing here is it knows what I'm it knows that I'm building this in Next, so it's able to give me
A
some
potential component.
yeah yeah. So I
And
can copy
I,
that text and get it out right in
right,
my banner slice. You're gonna say something?
yeah. This is cool. So back in the Prismic dashboard in the top right, there's
Yeah,
a send model to file system. So not only can you write the code from scratch if you want to in your JSON,
you can.
you could still use the GUI and it will update that same file with the piece of information that you just added.
Right. And see, I just slapped that image down,
Ah,
right? Like I just threw that code snippet in there. And because I
yeah.
picked that for the mock, what it did is it went over to Storybook and said, "Hey, I need a new picture of that component because we've got Storybook running and they're kind of integrated so that
Hmm.
it used Storybook to take to take a snapshot so that when I push this slice to Prismic, um, and it's just gonna take a second. There we go. It's
So pushing it
nice.
to Prismic is actually like deploying this out to the centralized
Yeah.
hosted
So
Prismic.
now my editors, whoever's writing our marketing secrets, can go in and when they choose a new slice for this
They can,
page, they're gonna see, oh, that's what it looks like, and that's like the
yeah.
big power behind the mocks is that they get a really good idea rather than some description. I don't know, like
Yeah.
I've worked for an agency, and one of the toughest parts of working there was like, all right, what do we call this like text on the left, image on the right kind of thing? And what do we call the one where like the text is slightly above and that the image is like bigger? I don't know what to call that being able to show them like, oh, okay, this is what that's going to look like.
This is what it's going to look like. Yeah.
Is really handy, because if you're using the old kind of slices, you have to choose these like specific icons, and it's just a bit trickier. But leaning on the power of Storybook, I mean, first off, just getting stories out of the box, being able to have a Storybook integration up and running for all of your slices is just really handy. But then using that for that reason to take those pictures and give your editors that image is great.
I did not know that you had some sort of local. How new is that? The ability to run that stuff locally?
Within the last year. So it's well, yeah. So I'd say it's about a year old. If Andrea's in the chat, she would know more better than I. Or if anyone from Prismic besides me is in the chat, I think we might be coming up on like a year of it being like in production. We're just getting to the point where we're really pushing it for production, where we're like it's at the point now where it's not just for more development use cases, but people are shipping big production sites with it, and they're loving it. So that's awesome. It speeds up my development workflow a lot, honestly.
I'm glad I got to figure that out. That's super cool.
Yeah, thank you for asking, because I just kind of glossed over it. But cannot load image, take screenshot. Storybook busy? I don't know what just happened with Storybook. Of course, Storybook is now reading URL. Oh, okay. Well, that's why, because I deleted the image thing, and it's going, hey, that doesn't exist. We can't load it.
And you're still trying to use it.
There it is. Nice. So let's try that again.
Sweet.
Take screenshot. And there it is. Cool.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super handy. So here what we can do is we can create a repeatable type, and we just call it article. And then article. And hit save. Cool. Add a new. So we're going to add a slice on, basically bring in all the slices that we already have pre-built, so we don't have to create a bunch of new ones. The only thing we're going to add here is a UID, so that we can come up with like a slug, like, article / the best way to get leads. I don't know.
All the things.
Yeah. So we'll keep UID, because that's what we're looking for over in Next, right? So it's going to tie into that right there. And then add slices, and we've got all our slices that we're already using here. I'll just add those in, and then we can use those in our article. And the cool thing about this too is that if you ship another site, or if you're like a freelancer and you're doing lots of sites, you can reuse these slice libraries from project to project really easily. Yeah. Because, I mean, as you saw, it's just like, think about just pulling in the JSON file for this banner image, right? Like you just bundle this up. It's your React component and it's your model, and you can bring that with you anywhere. So that's kind of the benefit there. But yeah, save the file system, and then we push this custom type to Prismic so that we can use and then query by articles. Take a sec. I think it's going through and taking pictures of things. Forget what it does exactly under the hood when it takes a little bit to load. But we can head to Prismic, and I can remove whatever I did. Oh, I don't think I did anything. I think
you should
examples.
When you get a chance, take a look at the last 2 comments from B Holmes.
Yeah, I saw the gifted 1 sub to Trost Proud Mom. Might make like James laugh and get back to work. It's so good.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Cool. So now we have this article custom type here. So I don't really have to touch it here. It's all happening back in Slice Machine. But we're going to create a new article, and this is in the editor. So like I said, like developers work on their local host, right? Like they work in their environment, and then the editors, which we're kind of playing both roles today, go in and they're going to write on Prismic in the editor.
Yep.
So top tips for marketers.
Top tips for everything.
So yeah, we got this thing. We should probably have like an actual title and stuff. Well, I'm just gonna go without it for now. You know what I mean. With like, like what the article thing is, what the description is, because that's stuff that you wouldn't want in a slice. And actually, let's add that super quick just to do it somewhat right. Add a field. Let's do another key text, or let's do a key text and do title. Oh, that's not how you spell title at all.
That's how I've been spelling it this whole time.
Titala. Cool. So we got title. We can push that to Prismic, and then with a refresh in a sec, we'll be able to see that. So for now, let's add a banner top, or the reasons you want to sell.
Pay me money.
Yeah, to pay me money. Read on. All right, and an image. I got a few marketing images I added here. Let's do that one. Looks good.
Love
Cool.
it.
So we can hit save, and whenever we refresh this, this should actually. I'll hold off on publishing real quick. Let's add the title. Top tips. Top tips for marketers. Save. Publish. Publish. All right, cool. So we've got that top tips for marketers. All right, so you got an article, you got our homepage, and we've got the menu. We're not really using the menu, but right now we just kind of want to box off that article and make sure that you can't read these sweet top tips without at least signing up for an account. In the future, I assume. All right, so here, let's check if my thought process is right here. I could, in Auth0, tie an account to something like Stripe and then check if that person has that connection, and that can be part of my authentication check. Is that
Yep.
a thing I can do?
Yep. So there's like you can, for the user that's stored inside of Auth0, you can attach a few pieces of metadata. Like you can't attach a ton, but a few pieces you can.
Okay.
Often what I end up doing though is offloading that to kind of my own database, because if I'm, especially if I'm not in a headless CMS and I'm storing things like article information in my own database, for example, I'm already used to interacting with my own database. So instead of like working with the Auth0 management API to be able to update those properties on the Auth0 user, I'll create a user record of my own so that I can store as much information about the user as I want to, including are they a paid customer, what their Stripe ID is, that sort of thing.
Got it.
So there's a couple of different ways you could do this. And then on that page, there's two different things to look at, with Next.js being the most versatile of the frameworks because you can do everything. If you're doing static pages for these articles, then you'd have to do your logged in check and your do they have access to this check on the front end. Because that thing is built statically, there's no way to know at build time whether or not a user is logged in.
Right.
So you could use that use user hook, grab the user. If there's not a user, send them off elsewhere. If there is a user but they don't have the is paid customer flag, you do the same thing. So that'd be a little bit of logic you would add there.
It's not bad.
If you were doing server-side rendered pages for the articles, you could do what we just did to guarantee wrap it with page auth required, but override it to say not only do we need the user to be logged in, we also then will do a check on that user to see if they have some sort of is paid customer property set to true. If not, we can do a redirect back to the home page. If they are, we just let them go through to the page.
Nice. Okay, so you got a couple different options to handle this sort of like, we don't just want you to sign up with Google. We want you to sign up and also be a paying member.
Yep.
Nice. We're gonna be rich, man. This is gonna be.
I know it's not that bad.
Lucrative investment of our time for sure. And with chat providing us with solid ideas for what to write about, I think chat can. We're here to profit off. Look, Ed, I was about to say we're here to profit off you, chat. Ed proved me right immediately. Ed, thank you for that sub. So good to see you. How are you doing? Pepper says rich.
Great timing. I just put a link in the chat, by the way, from John Myers. Fantastic. This is some content that I had been working through myself. So I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't shared it a ton. The JQQ memes project that I created.
Oh, yes.
Actually has an integration with Stripe, Auth0, all these things.
Nice. I did not realize that.
I have a few extra features with editing or creating the meme that are gated for $1. Like it's just for experiments for me. And what it does, I know, yeah. What it does is after when the user logs in for the first time in Next.js, you can override that callback to do certain things. So when the user logs in, I check to see if they already exist as a user in Supabase in my database. If not, I create that user and I create the Stripe customer and associate that Stripe customer ID with the user that's in my database.
Got it.
And then if they go through this process of purchasing, the Stripe webhook calls back to my application and I can tell who purchased and the fact that they did purchase. So I then go and update a property in Supabase with like, I think it's is premium to say they have paid. And then I can show those different features based on whether or not the user has the is premium property set. And all of that is based off of that article. So if you're interested in how that works, that will do all of that.
Honestly, like I totally embrace our jobs as modern day plumbers, just like piping these different things together. It's stuff I don't want to do. I'd rather stand on the shoulders of giants and
that's right.
Know that, you know, I'm not taking payments. Stripe is taking the payments. I don't have to worry about that. I don't want to be in charge of like my content or my data. Prismic and Supabase can handle that stuff for me. I'd much prefer that than me having to roll all that stuff. I want to do what you're doing there is come up with a fun thing and then just pick up the different services to make that fun thing as quickly as possible and then either stick with it or move on to the next fun thing. Like that's what's
right.
That's what's in it for me.
Yeah. I've said actually almost verbatim what you just said many times of as a developer, like sure, I have plenty of things to learn, but most of it is just like, how do I leverage these services and combine them together to make something fun?
Right. No, that's perfect. All right. I'm trying to think of, will this work? Will it work? Trying to, I don't see where I'm supposed to specify, and it's funny because this is the Prismic bit.
Use get static props.
So format path, Prismic document comes in, your term params, UID, Prismic ID. This should work. So we'll see how this goes. Let's go to articles /
So are you already...
We've got.
Do you have a UID to paste in?
We should.
If you go back to Prismic, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if this works. I feel like so the thing is, I feel like I should just have to specify for the article type. So I don't know if that's going to even come through. I feel like I'm missing a step. Unexpected error has occurred. Yeah.
404. So the UID is your title, the UID, or do you actually have like a UID for that record?
Yeah, that's the UID. Top tips for marketers.
Okay.
API params.
And there's a couple of things in here that are slightly custom. Like I've never seen the get static props. So that's something that
are custom to us. Yeah, exactly. So client return UID params at UID.
Oh, are those? Oh, is that a hook that comes from the Prismic library?
Yeah, exactly. We're importing this from Next.js hooks. So we got a little bit of a helper here, but I'm just trying to remember what to do.
UID
around.
Can you do a log of params to make sure that it has like right before you return on line 20? Can you do a log of params to make sure the UID is there?
I'm passing an object there, so I can't there, but I can.
Well, I think you can inside of the API params function.
Oh, you're right.
Like that's So right there. And then you'll have to open your terminal to see that logged out.
Good call. All right, so refresh.
You may have to
Yep. Next, this page error. So it even articles, top tips for marketers. Build page, API Auth0. Why would it build that page? Let me see. Let me comment these out real quick just to make sure that the rest is going fine. Okay, yeah, so that's working. Why was it building other things? And why isn't it logging out? Oh, nope, it was there for a second, then it broke. Top tips for marketers, use get static paths.
So what does it reference in the actual component itself? Like at the top, what does it spit out?
So,
it uses
Yeah,
slice
so it uses
zone.
client and next slice zone. So slice zone, all it does is really just loops through the slices that we pass it and finds the corresponding slice
Associated
in our
component.
folder. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then client, is this need to be set up any better? Oh, router routes. Here we go. That's what I'm thinking of. Page, here we go. So type homepage. This is what I need to do. Forgot about this. So
And then you've
article,
got,
and then path, articles.
and then the UID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should do it. Hopefully. No.
Question mark?
Articles. Wait, what's this? This is index.
Um,
Maybe I should get rid of this. Delete. Although that's
yeah, that
definitely
may,
not
I'm
what
not
was going with it.
sure.
That's
I'm
not
not
what
sure
was going with
how Next.js handles that if you have them both inside of that folder. Because
it.
technically,
Yeah.
like the spread or the UID in brackets is looking for any path. So I'm not sure if it's intelligent enough to separate
The
index
one that's declared
from.
wins out. So like if you
Okay, so index, since it's specific, will
it'll win
take
out.
priority.
But
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to think of what I'm doing wrong here. This sucks. So let me, just in case that client, the client shouldn't need to be like reestablished. It should be created every time. The router type page, is it article single? Sorry, chat. Sorry, James, for the hold up.
Debugging is the most important part.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be debugging my stuff.
You wanted me to mess up.
Yeah, that's more fun. All right. What's it actually requesting? Top tips for marketers. All right, my request
Is that going? Did that have the slash articles in it?
Prismic.js. Did what have the slash articles in it?
If you go back to the where you were in Chrome, and then scroll that list of network requests to the top, the one that to or that one. Oh, so it is going to slash articles. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot. All right.
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know the slice zone.
No, I totally hear you. Let me just see if
stuff.
anyone's around to potentially see if my coworker Lucy, who is much better at this stuff and will fix it in 2 seconds, can hop on real quick. Thanks for being patient. I don't know why.
And Lucy was one of the first people that I worked with from Prismic. If you remember, we did a stream on the Auth0 channel.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fantastic. Hopefully she can hop on and help us. Maybe not. We'll see. But if she shows up, we'll see. All right, so what is exactly... That one's fine. It's this UID. So what it's doing is using... So it's using the client, and the client should be using the router
actually,
routes. And then so
if
it's
you
a type article, it'll check here for the path. Yeah.
check back in the dynamic component, dynamic page or dynamic route. I was logging, we were logging in get static props, but that comes after get static paths.
Got it.
So you can try to log out the Prismic document there to make sure
we're getting it all.
You may have to, yeah. Nothing. Okay.
That's annoying. Use get static paths, params, Prismic document.uid. Shoot.
Yeah, that looks.
All right.
If we could see what the Prismic document looks like, one thing you can try is to just restart the server to make sure it does like a full static rebuild. Although it should have picked that up anyway, I believe.
Crap. All right. Shoot. We're not even seeing the ID here.
If you scroll up in there, nothing. Okay. Yep. I don't know then.
Yeah, but why isn't it logging anything? You know what I mean? Because that should use get static paths. Isn't get static paths not firing at all? It's not going to get Prismic document. Okay, invalid value returned.
So it did, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, it's,
I
think it's just because I'm returning this.
So I've had this one thing recently with Next.js and get static paths of it's looking for, and it actually shows you in there where paths should be an array, I believe. Or there was some sort of weird formatting that I didn't expect. Like one of the properties that I didn't expect to be an array, Next.js was telling me should be an array. I can't remember exactly what it was now, unfortunately.
Huh. Lucy
so maybe
might
that's not
be
helpful.
here. Let's see. Lucy, if you're here, because she said she's going to hop in. Oh, like vocal, I'm on Twitch. Cool, cool. So, okay, real quick. I've got an article, type repeatable, API ID, and I've got my file here that we're in Next.js. Will, thank you for that. And we got our UID, our dynamic file here. So it's in /articles and then just the UID. Is my Prismic configuration set up right? Is that correct? /articles. First off, is that what we called it? Yeah, articles and then UID. Is that correct?
Alex, I'm gonna have to run in like 2 minutes, unfortunately.
No worries, man. Thank you.
I want to see this.
Yeah.
I want to see the end of this.
Yeah.
I think we did get on your steps. We did get profile info, and we talked about how to gate the Prismic content.
Yeah. Now it's just down to me to get this together. I thought I had it. So yeah, we will figure that out another time. Real quick, I want to just plug your stuff. So Twitter, James Q Quick, right?
Yes, James Q Quick on mostly everything.
Yeah.
Twitter, TikTok, YouTube.
Did a good job. The basketball player had James Quick, but you went for the Q and you were able to get the unique stuff. Man, sorry for the not resolving at the end. I was hoping we would have it. But man, thank you so much for coming on. Let me bring us back to the duo camera. I had a blast. Thank you, chat, for being here. Thank you for those subs. Thank you for just all that stuff. Oh, is there any I wonders that we didn't touch? Wonder if Auth0, we got that. GitLab, we're not sure.
I wonder which application. Oh, I think we got all of
we
these.
hit them all. Awesome.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Wonder about the new chat features. Awesome. So chat, thank you so much. Nothing like ambivalence to end the stream. It's very human. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate you. Always nerve-wracking when you're like, I can't get it to work. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, James, man, thank you so much. This was a blast. I hope we can get you back. Maybe to finish this. Hopefully not to finish that one step, but we'll see. But yeah, I will let you go.
I'm ready.
Chat, you hang in there because we're going to raid somebody. We're going to find somebody, and we will see you tomorrow for Component Carousel. So thank you again, James. Everybody take care. See you later.
Cool.